It happened on a rainy Thursday morning in Los Angeles. The kind of overcast day where the air tastes like wet concrete and the sky forgets what color blue is. Most fans were still half asleep, scrolling their phones under the covers when it appeared. No caption. No warning. A single image. Billie Eilish's face, or rather, the silhouette of it, buried in darkness, her signature silver-green hair barely visible, lit only by a faint beam of light slicing across her cheek like a scar. Her expression unreadable, somewhere between peace and devastation. And in stark, glitching white text across the center of the photo, "This is it." Within 5 minutes it had 3 million likes. Within 10, it was being reposted by every major outlet from Rolling Stone to BuzzFeed, with headlines ranging from "Cryptic message from Billie Eilish stuns fans" to "Is Billie Eilish saying goodbye?" Then silence. No follow-up. No stories. No TikToks. No live stream to clarify. Nothing. Just that one post and then a digital vanishing act. Her Instagram account, with over 108 million followers, was wiped clean. All posts deleted. All highlights gone. Even her bio, once a chaotic mix of lowercase sarcasm and fan-made art, now showed only a black dot. Fans were left stunned. Reddit exploded. Fan accounts went into overdrive. Conspiracy theories bloomed like weeds. She's being silenced. It's a marketing campaign for a new album. This is a cry for help. She's quitting music. She's already gone. But as hours turned into days, things only got stranger. Day 1, radio silence. Her team at Interscope Records issued a bland one-sentence statement. At this time, Billie is taking a personal hiatus and we ask for privacy. That only made things worse. Because Billie had never been silent. Even when she battled depression. Even when her relationships had been dissected by tabloids. Even when stalkers had shown up outside her home, she had talked, through lyrics, posts, interviews, tweets. But now, nothing. Not even a Spotify update. Her entire tour, the highly anticipated Echo // tour, was marked canceled on every ticket platform by nightfall. The refund emails flooded inboxes. The world quite literally paused. Day 3, the backlash. By the third day, fans began to splinter. Some were devastated. Teenagers posted TikToks crying to old songs like "When the Party's Over." Others were furious. Influencers posted long rants about emotional manipulation and celebrity privilege. One viral tweet read, "If this is a PR stunt, it's disgusting. People actually care about her. This isn't a game." But still no word. Her brother Phineas posted a cryptic Instagram story, a black screen with white text. "Not everything has to make sense to you. Just breathe." That only fueled the fire. Was this an inside job? Was he part of the mystery? Or was he in the dark too? Day 6, the sighting. A grainy photo surfaced on Twitter. A girl with dyed hair, a mask, and oversized black hoodie walking through JFK Airport. The person who posted it swore it was Billie. She looked exhausted, the caption read. And alone. No security. The photo was dissected by fans like it was footage of Bigfoot. Some swore it wasn't her, her ears are different. Others said the hoodie matched one Billie had worn in 2019. TMZ tried to trace the flight manifest. No Billie Eilish. And then, a second photo appeared. This time clearer. Taken in Reykjavik, Iceland of all places. A figure in an enormous green coat and scarf walking along the harbor. Back turned. But the gait, the way she held her arms, fans said it was undeniably her. Why Iceland? Why alone? Why now? Day 8, the rumors turned dark. A voice note leaked. Supposedly from someone in her team. Low volume, muffled, but the words were there. She said she couldn't breathe. She said everything felt fake. Like she wasn't herself anymore. Fans went into meltdown. New hashtags appeared. Hashtag where is Billie? Hashtag bring back Billie. Hashtag this is not it. Hashtag we need to talk Billie. Some believed she had checked into a rehab facility. Others were convinced she was filming a secret documentary about fame and isolation. A few even floated the idea that she was dead and that "This Is It" was a coded message. Day 10, the song that never came. Billie's YouTube page updated by mistake, perhaps. A new private video appeared titled IT_001.mov. Then disappeared within minutes. But a handful of fans had recorded a snippet. It was music or something like it. Static. Wind. A whisper that sounded like Billie saying, "I never wanted to disappear." But I had to. That was it. It was enough to send the fanbase into complete obsession. And then a shocking discovery. A user on TikTok at Daisy from Nevada posted a video that went viral. She showed an old Billie interview from 2018 where Billie had said, "If I ever say this is it, I probably mean it." The clip resurfaced and hit 40 million views in a single day. Everyone now believed the same thing: Billie was gone. But whether she left the spotlight or something more permanent was the question. The envelope was unmarked. Just plain beige with no return address. It was hand-delivered not by a courier or a fan, but by a woman no one could identify, thin, wearing black sunglasses and a long coat despite the California heat. She walked into KXLA, a mid-tier Los Angeles indie radio station, and dropped it at the front desk without a word. Then she vanished. The receptionist thought it was fan mail at first, maybe even something dangerous, but curiosity got the best of her. When she slid a pen across the flap and opened it, what she found sent a cold shiver down her spine. Inside was a USB drive. Attached to it was a single folded piece of paper handwritten with 3 chilling words. "Don't look for me. But listen." There was no name, no signature. But the handwriting, it was Billie's. That curling B. The way the lowercase d leaned back like it was falling asleep. It matched old fan letters she'd once shared on tour. The station's program director, Reggie North, didn't believe it at first. He laughed it off until he plugged the USB into his computer. What he heard silenced the room. The file was titled, Nowhere 0001.wave. The track began with ambient noise, static, maybe rainfall or even breath caught between teeth. Then a melody. It was fragile, almost broken. Just a soft piano loop with heavy reverb. And then, Billie's voice. Faint. Whispering. Not singing. Talking. "You think you know me. You think the version of me you streamed and sold and shared is the one that breathes. You're wrong." The room froze. She continued, speaking like a confession. The voice was unmistakable, low, trembling, like she was talking from the edge of a cliff in the middle of the night. "I used to dream about being loved. I thought fame was the answer. But it only made me feel smaller. Every scream at a concert felt like a plea I couldn't answer. Every interview chipped away at my skin. I started watching myself from the outside. I haven't lived in my body for years." The track ran for exactly 4 minutes and 44 seconds. No chorus. No beat drop. Just truth, raw, terrifying truth. By the next day, the file had been leaked. Someone at the station couldn't keep it to themselves. It spread across X, formerly Twitter, Reddit, Discord servers, TikTok. Theories multiplied like mold in a locked room. Some said it was her suicide note set to music. Others said it was a tease of an upcoming secret album. A few whispered it wasn't Billie at all, that it was AI-generated, a stunt, a lie. But deep down, most knew. It was real. More days passed. Fans became detectives. A user on Reddit traced the ambient sounds in the recording. One of them was the low-frequency hum only found in geothermal fields. Iceland again. Another fan claimed to have seen Billie at a thermal spa near Myvin, silent, hooded, alone. No phone, no entourage. The sightings were never confirmed. But more fragments began to surface. One was a voicemail. A podcast host from Brooklyn said he received it at 3:17 a.m. He didn't recognize the number. It came through scrambled, untraceable. The voice? Billie's again. Barely audible. She only said one sentence. "The world only wanted my echo." Then a click. Silence. Her brother Phineas remained off-grid. He canceled his solo gigs. A scheduled appearance on Fallon was dropped without notice. Tabloids speculated he was either hiding her or had lost contact with her completely. His apartment in Silver Lake was visited by paparazzi daily, but no one went in or out. And then the second package arrived. This time not to a station, but to a single mother in Boise, Idaho who ran a Billie Eilish fan page. She opened her mailbox and found a white envelope with no stamp. Inside, a printed screenshot of a video frame. Billie sitting in what looked like an empty chapel, eyes closed, a candle burning beside her. Scrawled across the image. "You listened. Thank you." The mother posted it online. No one believed her. But an image analysis showed the chapel matched a real one, abandoned, just outside Akureyri, Iceland. A live stream was set up by fans outside the church. For 7 days, nothing happened. On the 8th, the candle in the window was lit again. Back in LA, posters began to appear. Black and white wheat paste prints glued to underpasses and alley walls. All identical. Billie's eyes slightly blurred with the words, "You'll never find me because I'm already gone." Major news outlets now treated the story as a cultural mystery. NPR released a special called The Vanishing of Billie Eilish. Vanity Fair ran a cover with an empty microphone and the headline, "Fame's Final Whisper?" Talk shows debated the ethics of obsession. Was this art? A breakdown? A message? Meanwhile, fans were burning their merchandise in TikTok trends. Others held candlelight vigils. Some got tattoos of the phrase "This is it" on their ribs, their wrists, their necks. It was no longer about the music. It was about grief. About losing someone who wasn't dead but who had left. Then something changed. A SoundCloud account appeared. Brand new. Username at untold. No profile picture. No bio. It posted a single track titled Null. The upload time was 3:17 a.m., exactly matching the timestamp of the leaked voicemail. The track was unlike anything Billie had ever released. It was stripped down to near silence. No instruments. Just soundscapes. Doors closing, a heart monitor, distant church bells, wind chimes. And in the background, buried under frequencies, Billie humming. No lyrics. Just the hum, like she was remembering a lullaby from another life. The comments section blew up. It was flooded with fans begging, "Come back. Please just tell us you're okay. Are you alive?" The account didn't reply. But a new message was posted 3 days later. Not a song. A short text. "Being known as a cage. I left the key inside. Let someone else find it." And then the account was deleted. By now, mainstream media backed away. The industry had moved on. New artists rose. The noise faded. But the fans, the real ones, never stopped watching. They waited. Scanned Icelandic travel vlogs for reflections in cafe windows. Watched chapel live streams like it was church. Searched crowds at music festivals for a familiar shadow. And one night, nearly 6 months after it all began, a bootleg clip surfaced. A tourist in Norway caught a woman singing under her breath at a bar in Bergen. She wore a scarf, kept her head down. But her voice, raw, low, cracked from cold, sent a chill through the entire internet. It was everything I wanted. And just before the clip ended, the woman looked up, just for a moment, and smiled at the camera. Not a celebrity smile. Just a person's. A few days later, a single phrase appeared on a blank website. "I'm not gone. Just living." For the first time. Then the page vanished. The website disappeared as suddenly as it came. No metadata. No archived version. No IP trace. Cybersecurity forums tried to dissect its origin, but all trails led to dead ends. To most it was a ghost, one final sigh in a long, strange storm. But for the fans who had been watching, listening, and decoding for months, it was proof. Billie Eilish was still out there. Not performing, not promoting, just existing. But that raised a question none of them could answer. Was it really her choice, or a final act of desperation? A girl named Anya from Utrecht posted a video that changed the entire trajectory of the mystery. She had no following, no connections, just a low-res camera and a story. She'd been on a solo backpacking trip through Iceland, partially inspired by Billie's rumored hideout. Somewhere between Vik and Hofn, she claimed to have stumbled across a small, snow-covered cabin. No roads led there, no signs marked it. But from inside, she heard music. Not loud, not amplified, just the unmistakable tone of Billie's voice floating through the air, raw and unfiltered. She got closer, and through a cracked window saw a girl alone, scribbling in a notebook and humming into a handheld recorder. She didn't film it. She didn't want to intrude. But she took one photo after the music stopped. It showed a distant silhouette in a green sweater stepping outside, arms stretched toward the snow as if embracing the cold. Anya posted it with the caption, "If you're looking for her, stop. She's not hiding. She's healing." Skeptics dismissed it. The photo was blurry, the figure too far to identify. But Billie's fans clung to it with desperate hope. It became an emblem. Printed on t-shirts, posters, made into wallpapers. And while the mainstream moved on, drawn to newer scandals, fresher controversies, the quiet obsession remained. Back in Los Angeles, Phineas resurfaced. Not publicly, but through a leaked audio file on a shared Google Drive that quickly vanished. It was clearly him, his voice unmistakable as he played a soft acoustic loop and spoke to someone off mic. His tone was fragile. "I didn't lose her," he said. "She let go. And I think maybe she had to." The clip ended with him humming a few bars of Ocean Eyes. That single moment, so intimate, so heartbreakingly pure, revived the conversation once again. News anchors debated whether Billie's disappearance was a brilliant commentary on modern fame, or an untreated crisis spiraling out of control. Journalists demanded accountability from her label, but Interscope remained silent. No statements, no press releases, not even a rejection of rumors. A former bodyguard went on record with Rolling Stone under the condition of anonymity. He said Billie had always fantasized about disappearing, even as early as 2020. "She told me once, what if I just became a waitress somewhere and changed my name?" And she meant it. Most celebrities joke about that stuff. Billie wasn't joking. Another industry insider claimed she created multiple fake aliases online, personas she used to post poetry, music, even reviews of her own songs. One SoundCloud account, long inactive, suddenly gained attention after fans noticed peculiar track names and lyrical similarities. The account, called Painted Ghost 444, had uploaded 6 tracks between 2019 and 2022, each eerie, minimalist, deeply personal. The most haunting? A track titled I Wrote This to Bury Her, which ends with the line, "You don't know the cost of staying visible." This idea that Billie Eilish had staged not a disappearance, but a transformation took root. Not long after, a strange phenomenon began sweeping the Billie fandom. Sightings of a new artist performing in low-key bars in Europe and Southeast Asia. No name, no promotion, no credits. Just word-of-mouth rumors of a girl with soft eyes, a whispery voice, and a stare that felt ancient. She never spoke to the audience. She never sold merch. She arrived, performed, and vanished. Videos surfaced. Faces were always hidden in shadows or under wide-brimmed hats. But the voice got the voice. You could hear her past in it. The ache of Zanny, the fragility of I Love You, the rage of NDA. Fans compiled the videos like detectives tracing a fugitive. Some believed the voice had changed. Others swore it was more authentic than ever. In Madrid, a bar owner claimed she paid in cash and asked only to use her own mic. In Prague, a bartender remembered her ordering tea and drawing for hours in silence before disappearing into the cold. These weren't the stories of a broken girl in hiding. These were tales of someone rediscovering herself, piece by piece, far from the stage. Then came the final blow, or perhaps the final gift. A vinyl appeared. Only 100 copies. No label. No barcode. No credits. Just a matte black sleeve with the embossed phrase, "You never knew me." It was first discovered in a record shop in Copenhagen. Then another in Lisbon. One in Tokyo. A few in second-hand stores in Detroit and Portland. Each record played a different song. All sung by the same voice. Some tracks were barely a minute long. Others stretched into long ambient epics. All were raw, acoustic, lo-fi, recorded with imperfections left in. The crackle of vinyl added to the ghostly quality, like these songs were memories trying not to fade. No one claimed them. No one sued. No copyright strikes were filed. But music critics who heard them wept. One reviewer for Pitchfork wrote, "It's as if Billie Eilish is haunting the music world instead of performing in it." And maybe that's exactly what she wants. The fandom split once more. Some begged for her return. Others accepted it was over. Not in a tragic way, but in the way all things end when their purpose is fulfilled. One late summer night, a live stream appeared again on the chapel feed in Iceland. The candle was lit. A figure stood near the altar, cloaked in shadows. For just a moment, she lifted her head, and the camera caught her face. It was older. Tired. But peaceful. The figure pressed a single note on a small keyboard. The room echoed. Then she turned, walked out of frame, and the candle went out. The feed went black. And Billie Eilish, as the world knew her, was gone. Months passed. The world moved on, at least on the surface. New stars filled festival lineups, award shows recycled familiar names, and radio airwaves sounded like Billie had never existed. But in quiet corners of the internet, her absence was louder than any song. Forums remained active, timelines archived every theory, and fans refused to let go. They called themselves, the listeners, a digital underground dedicated not to finding her, but understanding why she left. One rainy afternoon in New York, a vinyl collector named Ray found something strange at a Sunday flea market in Queens. Tucked between crates of dusty LPs was a small, translucent cassette, wrapped in aged parchment paper. Scribbled across it in black marker were the words, "Only listen if you've let go." The booth owner couldn't explain its origin. "Some girl dropped off a box a month ago. Never said her name," he shrugged. At home, Ray dug up an old Walkman. The moment he pressed play, static filled the room, thick and gritty, like wind over a microphone. Then came the voice. Familiar. Fragile. Billie? Not singing. Just speaking in a tone raw and unfiltered, like a journal entry being whispered to no one and everyone. "I always thought disappearing would feel like dying," she began. "But it felt like waking up. I watched the world forget me. And for once, I could breathe. I didn't hate the love. I just didn't want to live inside it anymore." Her voice cracked once, maybe from tears, maybe from cold. Then silence. A single piano loop followed, clumsy and warm, with fingers hesitating on each note, like she wasn't trying to impress anyone anymore. Ray uploaded a 30-second clip. It spread across X, Reddit, and Discord in hours. But just as before, Billie didn't respond. No confirmation. No denial. Her silence had become its own kind of music. A week later, in a cafe in Kyoto, a traveler named Sana recorded a mysterious performer. A girl barefoot, face partially hidden behind her long dark hair. She sat alone with an acoustic guitar and whispered into the mic, "If you still need me, I'm already there." But not like before. She sang only one song, an unreleased track, aching with familiarity, and left before anyone could approach. Locals said she paid in cash and walked alone into the drizzle. No one got her name. But everyone who heard her swore it felt like saying goodbye without pain. And just like that, Billie Eilish wasn't gone. She was everywhere, not as a person, but as a presence. Autumn came, and with it, a strange stillness. The online buzz that once surged with obsession had cooled into something quieter, reverence maybe. Acceptance. Even the most dedicated fans began posting less frequently. The Reddit thread slowed. The live streams from Iceland stopped. But a feeling remained, lingering like the last chord of a forgotten melody. Then without warning, an email arrived in the inbox of a small college radio station in Oregon. No subject. No sender. Just a single file, fade_like_dust.mp3. The station's host, a sophomore named Lena, played it live during her midnight show. She thought it was a prank at first, just static at the beginning, but then came a gentle, breathless hum. And then Billie's voice. Soft. Lower than before. Weathered. "I never needed to be seen to be real," she said. "They told me my voice was mine, but it never felt like it. Every version of me they loved was built from pieces I lost. Now I sing to no one. And that's how I finally hear myself." Then came the music. It wasn't polished or commercial. It was broken, beautiful. The sound of someone singing not to perform, but to release. Piano cracked under her touch. Wind chimes echoed behind her like memories. And her voice didn't rise, it folded inward, like a final letter never meant to be sent. By morning, the station's website had crashed from traffic. Lena was interviewed by 4 news outlets. Major publications ran stories with headlines like, "Billie's ghost track surfaces a farewell," and "The final song that broke a million hearts." But Billie said nothing. No tweet. No confirmation. Nothing. Instead, stories began appearing across the world, not of music, but of moments. In Naples, a street performer said a girl with tired eyes handed him €20 after he played "Everything I Wanted." In Montana, a hiking group claimed a stranger at a remote trailhead hummed "My Future" before disappearing into the trees. In Helsinki, a vinyl store owner found a note left on the counter. "I once thought silence was emptiness. Now I know it's peace." She had become a myth told in passing. A memory that kept finding new ways to live. One fan, a girl named Tessa from Sacramento, recorded a video that would become the final viral post in the Billie mystery. Standing at a beach at sunrise, she read aloud a letter she claimed was written by Billie and mailed to her anonymously. No proof. No way to verify. But the words echoed something too sincere to ignore. "I'm not lost. I just stopped needing to be found. I still sing. I still laugh. I still cry at movies and burn toast. But now I do it without waiting for the world to clap. If you loved me, you already carry what I was. And if you hear my voice again, let it be because the wind brought it to you. Not because I came back." Tessa cried through the ending. Not because it was sad, but because it was free. And that perhaps was the last truth Billie Eilish ever gave the world. Not a comeback. Not a final album. Just her absence, sacred, intentional, whole. In the years that followed, her name faded from charts but remained carved into the hearts of millions. Her music never stopped being played. But the girl herself, she remained a whisper, a candle flickering in distant chapels, a melody hummed under strangers' breath. She didn't say goodbye. She simply became someone else. Someone real.